if he will.
Coach Hill's going to have plenty of chances to talk with Coach versus Coach about this topic. But so we'll definitely come back to this. But I did want to talk a little bit about two games last week. Chris, Palisades beat Audrey Kell 14-11. It was the first time they were down 9-0 in rallies. The first time they'd ever beaten Audrey Kell. How big a win is this for Palisades? And we keep talking about them turning that proverbial corner. Is this the game that really gets them around that proverbial corner?
Yeah, no, I think this is a huge win for Palisades. You know, it's a win that I kind of expected. I just felt like this Palisades team was much better than the record suggests. You know, you can make a pretty strong case that they're one or two plays away from being an undefeated football team and being a completely different conversation. Just how good could they be? So, you know, I'm not surprised. But I do think, you know, we're still dealing with children, you know, teenagers, 14, 16, 17-year-old kids. Yeah. And sometimes you still have to win that game to realize you can do it. You know, there's something about accomplishing that. And now that they know they can win those tight games, they know they can beat a rival. I think the sky's the limit, and they'll just continue to kind of get that ball rolling and get better each week.
Funny you say that.
You like to see this is the fourth year. So those kids that were freshmen, when school opened, they have seen the process play out and it be successful, because I'm sure that was their goal when they were ninth graders. Yeah. And now they hit the goal as seniors. That's got to feel very rewarding to not only the staff, but to those senior kids that had to go through that process.
Absolutely. Well, we got some sound after their game. Let's play that. We'll hear from the quarterback and coach.
Man, first of all, you know, all glory to God. But I feel like this team is just like different than any other team we've ever had. Especially with like the guys we have over here, and like they just welcome me with open arms. And you know, I just love these guys. I feel like we just pushed through. Had some adversity, had some calls we thought should have been made, but you know, we just pushed through, and in the end, we came out on top. I think we learn a lot about ourselves. Like when we get down, like this is one of our first times like being down by like 9 points. Because most of them down all year. But you know, we fought back. I think we just showed like our toughness and that like we can come out on top in any situation.
Really, just, you know, we had that conversation. You know, we went back and watched last year's film a bunch. We watched them, you know, pretty much every day. And again, it was just about our time to kind of break through. You know, we had Clover on the ropes. We gave up, you know, the game-winning touchdown in the last 11 seconds. And then same thing kind of with Independence. You know, we had them on the ropes, then we gave up the game-winning touchdown with about 4 minutes left. So really our conversation was not about can we compete with these teams. It's about can we finish against these teams. And that's what we did tonight. So I'm very, very excited and happy for these guys. Now, I mean, it is the emotional balance, though, because, you know, you get frustrated early in the game. You know, the call's not going your way, the ball's not bouncing your way. You know, they go up 9-0. You got to battle back. I mean, you just got to battle back, and you got to be emotionally controlled to battle back. So, no, it was an emotional thing more than anything, in my opinion.
Makes the post-game Dallas thing worthwhile, huh?
Man, I'm freaking. I knew I should have packed something extra, but I did that last year and we ended up losing. So this year I had to just wing it. So yeah, it's all good.
Well, at least it wasn't cold Friday night when they hit him with the post-game shower. And I'm thinking this water wasn't Gatorade, so it wasn't too sticky. Go ahead, Chris, you had a point.
Yeah, and I just kind of wanted to throw this out there, too, just speaking of how big a win this is for Palisades. You know, we mentioned that just a few bounces of the ball, they could be undefeated. This win over Audrey Kell, AK is a much better team than that 3-3 record indicates as well. They're a couple of plays away from being a 5-1 team and looked at with a completely different perspective. Carter Green's their defense coordinator. They're only giving up about 2 touchdowns a game. And in an era where people are scoring a lot of points, this AK team is actually a pretty good team. So I think it just magnifies how strong this Palisades team is moving forward.
Absolutely.
Well, it's so funny.
Coach Simmons hit the nail on the head in that at the Clover game, I was at both the Clover and Independence game, both games that Palisades had great opportunity to win. Should, you know, late in the game, they're winning and then something happens. So those moments hopefully showed them in this game and moving forward that you've got to finish games. And they obviously finished Friday night, which I think is more important than beating Audrey Kell. It's beating that demon of failing late in the game.
That's what I mean. Turn that corner, Gary.
To see the growth in Coach Simmons, guys, you wouldn't believe. I saw him coach over a decade ago at Hopewell, and I had to pull him aside and talk to him about how emotional he was. You know, and I'm like, hey, the kids they gonna act like you. And if you're emotional, every time something bad happens, that's the attitude that they're gonna take. They're gonna follow their lead. And he's really grown as a coach of controlling his emotions, because he used to be a ball of fire for 2.5 hours a day, every day. You know?
No, he's very mature now. I definitely agree with that. Chris, the other big game this week, West Charlotte was 1-2. Remember Sam